Hey guys, Lockie here, and welcome to episode 6 of FIFA 16 West Brom Career Mode. To start off with today's episode, we do have a home game coming up against Everton. And if I do sound a bit weird, I do have a cold at the moment, so that is the reason. But hopefully we can get our form back against Everton. And obviously we haven't won since the Watford game. Lost a couple games and drawn one, I think, against Stoke. So yeah, hopefully, look at that. We're down at the 19th position on the ladder. Everton haven't got off to the best start themselves. They're down at 12th. They would have probably hoped to be a bit higher, but we definitely need to regain some form back this game. And as you'll see here, I'm going with a pretty strong lineup, and we do have uh, Lucas Romero back into the defensive mid position. Obviously got sent off 2 games ago. Didn't play last game. McManaman comes on for McLean, and I think it's a pretty normal side, and you see a lot of it. Berahino, Rondon, and Sessegnon complete that triangle up forward. So, yeah, and as you have a look at Everton's team, they've got Robles in goals, and Tim Howard has been dropped to the bench. That's quite an interesting decision. And it looks like Romelu Lukaku is not going to feature due to injury or suspension, and Arona Kone is up front leading the attack for Everton. So it's a massive game here. And yeah, hopefully we can get 3 points. So in the 5th minute, though, as James McCarthy gets in the ball, gives it to Ross Barkley. Ross Barkley does a really bad pass. It's well cut up by Bellerin, and this is a great break as Lucas Romero slides a great ball to Rondon. Rondon does really well here and hits the post, as you'll see, and it's really unlucky, and Everton do get it clear. So very unlucky. But in the 9th minute, Sessegnon gets on the ball here. He gives it to Berahino. The Englishman does get tackled, but McManaman gets on the ball here. He gives it back to Berahino, who slides a fantastic ball to Stefan Sessegnon, who Ronaldo chopped inside and has a hit. It gets saved, but who's there? Nathan Redmond for his first goal for West Brom, and what a goal what a goal. What a time to score this goal. Wasn't probably the easiest goal he'll ever score because Sessegnon did really well. He cut inside. Probably should have finished that, but it's a good save from Joel Robles, and Redmond's not going to miss that. He scores his first goal for the club, and what an important goal that could be. So it's 1-0 to the home side, and that is a really, really, really important goal. So as his second goal in Premier League, so he must have scored for Norwich before we bought him. So in the 18th minute here, Oviedo gets on the ball, gets hacked there, but Stefan Pienaar gets on the ball. The South African does really well, and if it wasn't for an amazing block from Robin Nokke, he would have scored. And then the follow-up from Ariona Kone is offside. As you'll see here, it is pretty very good defending here from Robin Nokke. Puts his body on the line, and it does deflect to Kone, but thankfully it was offside. So in the 40th minute, though, it's a really bad pass from Rondon. And as McCarthy gets on the ball, the Irishman gives it to Arana Kone. Kone slides a fantastic ball to Gareth Barry, and what a miss that is. I know he's not known for his finishing, the Englishman, but that was very, very bad. Look at that. He's got to keep that shot down, and we're lucky to still be 1-0. But as Lindegaard gets on the ball here, throws it out to Berahino. Berahino takes a really poor touch, and as Ross Barkley gets on the ball, he gives it to McGeady, who, if it wasn't for another save from Lindegaard, it would have been a 1-0. So we've been dominated, really, but somehow it's still 1-0. We obviously had the better opening in the first 15 minutes, and then Everton really clicked into gear and had a lot more shots in the second half of the first half. So look at those stats: 3 shots to 4. But Everton have got possession 56% to 44. So yeah, they've probably dominated a bit more when it comes to possession. But it's not too bad. Not too bad. It's a lot better. At least we got the lead in the first half. But 49th minute here, Ross Barkley gets on the ball. The young Englishman gives it to Oviedo. The Costa Rican cuts inside and does really well and has a shot. But if it wasn't for another tackle from Robin Nokke, another block, it would be 1-0. So proving why we signed him, he is unbelievably better than Gareth McCauley. Look at that for a tackle. Sticks out his left foot there and it turns it behind. But just from this corner, following this corner, it's Stones gets onto it. He gets punched out, and Gareth Barry gets onto it. Pulls it back for Pienaar. Pienaar gets on the ball, gives it to McCarthy, gives it to Barkley, and Kone has a shot and side net. So unlucky there from the Ivory Coast striker. But as Pocognoli gets on the ball here, our left back does really well. He turns Stones inside out, sends a fantastic ball to Rondon, and Rondon scores and makes it 2-0. And well, he's our new signing. We didn't sign him, obviously. West Brom in real life did sign him, but that is a great finish. Pocognoli did turn Stones out, That was fantastic from the left back, and that's a good finish in Rondon. He's not going to be missing too many shots like that one on one, and there was nothing Joel Robles could have done there. That's his third goal in the Premier League, and that's a pretty good finish. And he's got a couple of assists to his name as well. But in the 59th minutes, Ryan Gold gets on the ball here. He sends a fantastic ball to Berahino, and Berahino does well here. Cuts inside, beats Oviedo, and Berahino has a hit, and then his follow-up header is just wide. So Berahino did really well there, and unlucky not to score. So following this goal kick, look what happened here. This is probably really disappointing. As you'll see in a minute, Lucas Romero is injured, and well, there he is there, but why isn't he injured? It's a really, really weird one, because look at this in a minute. You'll see, Lucas Romero was standing, and then apparently he's back to injured. Yeah, I saw that, but he never says he's injured. So that was really weird. As you'll see, that if you go back, rewind, he's actually standing up. So, but he's done a sprained ankle, and he's going to be out for 4 weeks, so that's really disappointing. He's been okay so far, but he's a lot better than Darren Fletcher or Craig Gardner. Well, Craig Gardner's alright, but as you see there, Kevin Morales nearly did score, and that would have been a very good goal from the Belgian. But we are going to hold on, as you see, for our second win of the season, and what an important win that is. Under a lot of pressure we were, and it was a really good display from the team. Good to see Rondon getting a score sheet, as well as Redmond, who may be under a bit of pressure because he didn't have the greatest start, but he did open the scoring. Like I said, not the hardest finish in the world, but they all count. So 2-0 win, our first home winners of the season as well. And as you see here, we do have a look at our squad report. Robin Nockes, Bellerin and Lindegaard have all gone up. As you see, Lucas Romero's form hasn't done really well. It's poor, but that's alright. Still, Berahino feels threatened, even though I've started in most games. But it looks pretty good, the team. Ricky Lambert obviously is not going to go up. Joe Gomez hasn't featured in too many games. He only featured in the one Capital One Cup game, but he's gone up a couple. But our second game of today's episode is against Crystal Palace away from home here. And we do travel to Selhurst Park in London. It will be hopefully a win, but I would happily take the draw because Alan Pardew's side is not too bad. Quite a good side. I hope to finish around the same position as them because because they're going to probably finish mid-table. They've got a great start in real life, but in this game they are only 2 points ahead of us. So they're sitting in 10th place. Yeah, 10th place. So as you'll see here by their side, or as they go on about Rondon, who scored eight appearances so far this season, 3 goals. I think he may have like 2 assists or something. So that's not bad, especially as we played a couple of difficult sides, which I don't expect him to score against. But as you'll see here by Crystal Palace side, they have Wickham starting up front as their lone striker, Punchin playing behind him, Balassi on the wing, with Samadov and Jedinak, the Aussie, in defensive mid. So good play, Millet. What a legend. As we have a look at West Brom's side, they've got our side, we've got Darren Fletcher now going in for Lucas Romero, and that's the only change from the win against Everton, and I'm really not going to change anything because we played extremely well. But in the 12th minute here, as Puncher gets on the ball, he gives it to Wickham. Wickham gives it to Samadov. Samadov does really well. He gets past Robin Knockout with ease, sends a fantastic ball to Wickham. Wickham is on the ball. It's onside. It's a bad chance for Johnny Evans, and what a miss that is from Jason Punchin. So the Englishman has to do a lot better there. He had a lot of time and space, and yeah, look at that for a miss. Yeah, it's real poor. But as you see here in the 17th minute, we do have a free kick from about 38 yards and 37 yards. And I will take it with Renman. As you'll see here, he's probably got the best overall stats. Don't have great free kick takers, but this is a really good effort from Redmond, and it forces a save out of Julian Speroni. So it remains at 0-0. And in the 26th minute, as Joel Ward gets on the ball, he gives it to Jedinak, and Punchin receives the ball back from Jedinak. Jedinak gives it out wide to Balassi, and Balassi runs through, does really well, and has a hit, but it goes just wide, and it remains at 0-0. So very lucky not to concede there, because that was a good run from Balassi, and good link-up play from the Crystal Palace players. But in the 40th minute, as Balassi does get on the ball here, he gives it to Saur, and Saur does do well, crosses it in, and Jason Punchin does force a save out of Lindegaard, and what a reflex save this is from Lindegaard. Punching with a good header, and it was straight at him, but he still had to react very quickly because that was a very good header. But in the 44th minute, Siren Clark gets on the ball. He gives it to Samadov. Samadov gives it to Jedinak. Jedinak slides it through for Wickham, and Wickham does put it away and makes it 1-0 for Crystal Palace. And that is really poor defending. As you see, I left quite a lot of space in the middle there, and he was always going to put that away. Wickham is a good striker, so yeah, look at that from Bellerin. That's Bellerin, sort of. He was out of position a lot there, but it's still 1-0. But in the second half, we do turn it over here. Jedinak gets on the ball, gives it to Wickham. Wickham gives it to Punchin, and Punchin misses again. So Punchin just cannot put the ball in the back of the net. He's had numerous opportunities and still hasn't found the back of the net. But in the 55th minute, as Pocognoli gets on the ball, he gives it to Redmond. Redmond just tries to do a bit of skill, but he doesn't work, and he gives a really good back heel here to Pocognoli, who crosses the ball in. They get it clear, but Darren Fletcher gets on the ball. He gives it to Sessegnon, gives it to McManaman, who gives it to Berahino, who gives it to Sessegnon, and what a team goal that is! That is an unbelievable one-touch passing. It's Barcelona-esque. It was that brilliant, as you'll see here. Hopefully it will show another replay, because look at this. Darren Fletcher heads it down for Sessegnon with the back heel. McManaman passes to Berahino, and it's all one touch. That is a pretty brilliant goal, and it is 1-1, and what a way to equalise with a fantastic goal. But in the 59th minute, as Cabaye gets on the ball here, a deflection off Robin Nokke nearly goes in the back of the net, and well, I don't think Lindegaard had that one covered really. It was a looping ball, but in the 80th minute here, as Berahino tries to put on pressure, Cabaye gets on the ball here. The Frenchman tries a great ball to Samadov, and Samadov puts it in the back of the net, and it is the 80th minute, and it's like hearts broken for West Brom because, well, Crystal Palace have been the better side this game, but that was poor again. That was too easy. I don't know what the left centre back was doing there, but I think that may be Robin Nokke, Johnny Evans. But in the 90th minute, there's only 2 minutes of extra time. Ryan Gould does get on the ball here, and he fake shots, has a hit, and look at this. It is a penalty, and West Brom have the chance to equalise in the last kick of the game. So it was a penalty. Well done from Ryan Gould. So that's a super sub impact straight away. And as you'll see here, cuts inside, and Ciaran Clark, the ex-Aston Villa man, does get a yellow card for his troubles. So look at that. That's a penalty. He gets hacked while shooting. Wasn't the best shot in the world, but it doesn't matter. He's earned a penalty. And Sessegnon is our best penalty taker, apart from Craig Gardner. But Sessegnon's probably got so much confidence. I'm gonna take it with him. He's been our top goal scorer, I'm pretty sure. So Sessegnon, is he gonna score? Yes, he does. What a great penalty! Not a great penalty, but Speroni did dive the right way, but he put it in not the top corner. It didn't have much power on it. I was a bit nervous and didn't want to blow it over the bar or anything and miss, so I didn't put too much power. But we've rescued a point here in Selhurst Park, and look at this. Another look at the penalty. Not a lot of power, but Speroni, well, he dived the right way, but didn't get his hand onto it. So that's the last kick of the game, as you'll see. And, well, what a way, what drama late on. And again, it's a 2-2 draw. As you remember from episode, I think it was 3 or 4, against Stoke City, we rescued a late header from a corner to make it 2-2. So, last minute again. So, pretty amazing stuff. And as you'll see by the league table, you'll have a look at the league table in a minute. Chelsea on top, Arsenal United still got a game in hand though. And we are sitting kindly in 14th. So if you did enjoy this, please do leave a like and subscribe if you are new to the channel. It is greatly appreciated. Thank you for all the support. Look at where Liverpool are, by the way. And see you guys next time.